If you saw a young woman standing alone on a dark road, would you stop? Because one taxi driver did, and after that night, he was never the same.
Winston Brown had driven a taxi in central Jamaica for nearly 20 years. People called him Winky, and he'd heard every kind of story you could imagine. Drunk passengers, lost tourists, late night arguments, surprise confessions. But he didn't believe in ghost stories. He believed in two things, the road and the fear. That changed on a night he could never explain. It was late at night when he was heading back toward town, along a quiet country stretch not far from Kendal. That's when he saw her. A young woman stood at the roadside, still and patient, not waving or calling out, just waiting. Winky slowed down and rolled his window halfway. "Evening, miss. You okay? Need a ride?" "Yes," she said softly. She climbed into the back seat and closed the door with a careful click. "Where to?" Winky asked as he pulled off. "Home," she replied. He waited for more. When none came, he tried again. "Which part?" "Kendal's side," she said, eyes turned toward the window. "I'll tell you when to turn." Winky didn't like vague directions, especially at night, but something in her voice made him agree. "Have you ever heard about the Kendal train wreck?" she asked. Winky's hands tightened slightly on the wheel. "Yes," he said, "I've heard." "My mother never stopped waiting," the young woman said. "Waiting for who?" he asked. "For me," she replied. The words landed in the car like a weight. "Turn here." Winky turned onto a narrower lane. "Stop," she said. He stopped in front of a small, older house with a single veranda light. The young woman leaned forward slightly. "I'm going inside to get the money," she said. "All right," Winky replied. "Thank you for bringing me home," she said. Then she went to the veranda and disappeared toward the front door. Winky waited. 5 minutes passed, then 10, then 15. There was no movement behind the curtains, no sound from inside, nothing. Winky got out of the car. He walked up to the veranda. He rang the bell. The door opened slowly, and an older woman stood there in a housecoat, hair wrapped, eyes sharp despite the hour. "Evening, ma'am," Winky said, trying to sound polite and ordinary. "Sorry to disturb you. I dropped off your daughter. She said she was coming right back with the fare." The woman stared at him for a long second. "My daughter?" she repeated. "Yes," Winky said. "A young lady. Light dress. Quiet. She just came in." "Sir," she said slowly, "I live alone." Winky felt his stomach twist. "No, ma'am. I just dropped her off." She walked right up to the door. The older woman swallowed, her eyes already shining. "You couldn't have," she whispered. "What do you mean?" Winky asked. The woman's voice broke. "My daughter has been dead for a long time." Winky stepped back as if the words pushed him. That's not possible," he said. "She was just in my car." The older woman's hands trembled as she spoke again, softer this time. "She died in the Kendal train wreck." The older woman disappeared inside and returned with a framed photograph. She held it up under the veranda light. Winky's breath caught. The girl in the photo was his passenger. Same face, same eyes, same calm, distant expression. Winky looked down at the veranda floor, at the dust. No fresh footprints, no marks leading inside, only his own. He backed away, got into his taxi with shaking hands, and drove off silent. And from that night on, whenever Winky passed Kendal after dark, he never stopped for anyone standing too still by the roadside. Because sometimes, right where he first saw her, the suspension would sink just a little, and a cold hush would fill the car, as if someone had gotten in and was waiting to be taken home again.
We close this one with respect for Kendal and for every family that tragedy touched. May every soul that never made it home find peace.